Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing, and if you are here for the first time, may I request you to please subscribe, and I assure you, you will not be disappointed. Well, I'm also available on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and you will find all the links in the description box. So may I request you to follow me there as well, so that you are in touch with whatever is happening, or whatever I post, whatever stories I post, or maybe whatever announcements I make. Well, that will be beneficial for you. So, with all the formalities over, let's get down to the main topic today. A lot of you have been writing to me to make a video on personality development. Well, frankly, personality development is a very, very big subject. You can write a book, so you can have 365 topics, one topic a day. So, starting with that, I thought I will just pick up one of the important aspect of personality development, and I thought, what better way than to be an example to someone. So, you know, I'm one person who practices what I preach. I will never say a thing which I don't practice. Whatever quotes you read about me, whatever stories I talk about, I learn and I try to implement them in my life. So today I'm going to share 5 life mantras which I truly follow, and I completely believe in them. And they have really helped me to be what I wanted to be in life, the kind of person I wanted to be in life. And anytime I go haywire on this highway of life, I want to stop, I want to retour, I want to do a U-turn. These mantras keep me going. So here they are. So mantra number 1. Always remember, never compare yourself to anyone. Never. Because have you ever seen a clone of yourself, a replica of yourself? Maybe a little bit same, but if you look at a person, nature, it will be entirely different. Even twins, they may look same, but they behave differently, they think differently. So when there is no one like you on this earth, what does that make you? That makes you a designer piece God has created. There is no one like you on this earth. So when there is no one like you on this earth, whom are we comparing ourselves with? Every person has their plus points and minus points. There is no one perfect on this earth. Everybody has flaws, including me, including you, and the biggest person, the highest celebrity on this earth, they also have their own flaws. Either they have learned to hide it because their strengths, they have made them so strong that you do not notice those flaws. Or they have accepted it as moved on. I have accepted my flaw. People used to call me Gittu, Thengu, Boni. But I have accepted myself as I am. People who care for you will accept you unconditionally. You don't have to fit into a mold to be accepted by people. So never ever compare yourself to anyone. Each and every person is unique. Orange has its own speciality and taste. Apple has its own taste. Grapes have its own taste. If you combine 2 or 3 and make a combination of these, that will be a different taste. No one can be you, and you cannot be anyone else. So stop comparing yourself to anyone. Because, as I said, there is no one like you. You are unique. You have your own plus and minus points. Accept the minus points which you cannot change. And embrace your plus points. Make your plus points so strong that people completely ignore your minus points. They don't even notice that it is with you. Because I'm short, and everybody used to call me that. I can't do anything about that. I cannot add height to myself. But I did add height to myself. Not by wearing heels under my shoes, under my feet, or wearing the highest heel possible. By adding inches above my head. I did something in life where people had to look up to me. So I added height above my head, not below my feet. It does not matter what lies between your head and your feet. What matters is what lies between your head and your chin. So your thoughts matter a lot. Do not ever compare yourself to anyone. I don't do it. I don't believe in it. And that is what I teach people. Don't compare yourself to anyone. The second thing which I want you all to develop in yourself is patience. Unfortunately, today's generation does not have patience. They want things instantly. So I call today's generation instant generation. So instant coffee, instant Maggie, Instagram, everything instant, instant, instant. So they become so used to things happening quickly that they expect that things will happen quickly, which does not happen. Can you ever imagine a newborn going to the college? No, na? A newborn will first learn to crawl and then stand and then run and then nursery, KG, blah, 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 and then finally college. Things take time. If you try to cook biryani in seconds, do you think it will, unless you get the instant biryani, but that instant biryani is not going to taste like the normal biryani because that is instant. The taste is going to be very different. And you enjoy that biryani your mom used to make for ghanto, she'll put it on the fire and dheere dheere it is getting ready. So things take time. Nothing ever happens instantly. You have to work for the success. And there are a lot of people who get instant success, but then they don't know how to maintain it. Because finding success is still easy, but maintaining that success is very tough. Because people will have expectations, and then you have to always cross the benchmark of what you did last time, this time better, this time better, this time better. And that can only come with experience in life. So if you take one step at a time, firmly stand and learn from every experience and then slowly move ahead. So once you reach the top, you will know how to sustain that, how to stand there for a longer time, how to cherish that success, how to maintain that success, how to carry it forward in life, because you have experience behind you. So it's very, very important to have patience. Nothing, even in nature, nothing happens instantly. You will see that you plant a seed and then that small little baby plant will come out, then slowly a bush and then slowly a little hedge and then slowly it will become a tree, and it will take ages. So it's very important to follow the law of nature. Have patience. Sometimes it will be for a longer time, but during all that longer time you're learning, you're gaining experience. And there are so many examples of people who have never given up because they have been patient. Look at Edison. How many times he failed, but did he give up? No, he did not give up. He had patience because he knew that he is going to get what he actually had in his mind. Look at Amitabh Bachchan ji. He was rejected so many times in life. Did he give up? No. He wanted to be in the glamour industry and he made it. And it took a long time for him. There are so many film stars you can quote who have taken ages to be where they are today. The singers, the music composers. So it's very important to learn from these legends as well, that life does not happen instantly. It takes time. It takes time for the seasons to change. It takes time for the day and the night to come. But it does come. Have faith that it will happen. If you don't have that faith, if you don't believe in yourself, nothing is going to work for you in life. So it's important have faith. You are putting in your 100%. Things will happen. They may take time, but they will happen. Believe in that. The third important life skill which I follow and I want you to follow is, don't be a people's pleaser. Unfortunately, in today's world, we are all people pleasers. Look at yourself, look at your friends. Everybody is running for subscribers, the followers, and why? Why aren't we living our own life? We are living life measured by the yardstick of other people. And believe me, they will never be satisfied. You will do one thing, they will say 10 things, they will say 10 things, then 100 things, but you will never ever be able, you can never please people. Because they'll always have to say something about you. There's nothing better people have to do rather than talk about others. And why do people talk about others? Simple example. People talk about others because somewhere or the other they are lacking that part. They are unable to get there. So when people are unable to find what they are looking for, and if you have found it before them, they cannot tolerate it. They cannot take it, unfortunately. You know, society nowadays works on crab mentality. Now you'll wonder, what is crab mentality? If you ever see a crab being caught, you will see that there's a box which is open from the bottom and it's open from the top. So wherever the, a group of crabs are sitting, then go and place that box on top of them. So now they are caught inside that box. But they know that the box is open from the top. So some crabs will try to climb up to get out of that box, but there will be others who will pull their legs and pull them down. They will never let them come out of that box. This is exactly what happens to all of us. You take a step forward and there will be 10 people to pull you back. And if you keep listening to what people are saying, you will always remain at the back. You will never ever be able to be a winner in life. It's because we are always looking at or listening to what people are saying. So what you need to do is to stop being a people's pleaser. As I said, even if you try your hard, you can never please people. People will talk and you cannot stop it. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. Reminds me of a beautiful story that there was a man who made a mithai ka dukan, a sweet shop in his village. And then he painted a board. So this reminds me of a beautiful story that there was a man, he made a sweet shop. And under his name, he wrote the words, यहाँ ताज़ी मिठाइयाँ मिलती हैं. Because it was a sweet shop and he wrote this beautiful caption, यहाँ ताज़ी मिठाइयाँ मिलती हैं. And he threw a party. So people were coming, enjoying. So one of his friends came, he had a sip of his drink and then he looked up and he says, यहाँ ताज़ी मिठाइयाँ मिलती हैं. अरे यार, you have written this word ताज़ी मिठाइयाँ मिलती हैं and you're insisting on this word ताज़ी. People will think that यहाँ ताज़ी नहीं, बासी मिठाइयाँ मिलती हैं. That's why he's written ताज़ी मिठाइयाँ मिलती हैं. To fool us. You should remove this word, ताज़ी. So he said, fine. He removed the word ताज़ी. Now the words left were, यहाँ मिठाइयाँ मिलती हैं. So another friend came and after having a drink, he looked up. यहाँ मिठाइयाँ मिलती हैं. Yeah, everybody knows this is a mithai ka shop. It's a sweet shop. People can see from far. It's full of mithaiyan. Why should you write, yahan mithaiyan milti hain? Do you think people are blind? You should remove this word, mithaiyan. So he removed that word. Now the words left were, yahan milti hain. Another friend came. He had a drink and he looked up. Yahan milti hain? Kya milti hain? I mean, people wonder, joote milte hain, chappaleं milti. Kya milti hain? You should remove this word मिलती हैं. दुकान है तो कुछ मिलेगा ही. Remove this word मिलती हैं. So now the words left were yahan hain. Another friend came. Yahan hai? Kya hai? Ye kya hai matlab? Yahan to hai hi na. Yahan matlab he is present. We are standing here. Why should you write yahan? Remove this word yahan. He removed it. Now the only word left was hain. Hain. Another friend came. Arey, hain? What does that mean? Hain. Useless word. Just remove it. Another friend came. Yeah, you've put your name there, but you've not put any caption. You should write here, yahan tazi mithaiyan milti hain. So he said, okay. And he again rewrote, yahan tazi mithaiyan milti hain. What was happening, friends, here was that people were saying and he was doing. People were saying as he was doing. And then he was left with nothing. And then he read it. And again somebody will come. So he'll be in that vicious cycle of pleasing people. And he'll never ever be able to be himself. When we are trying to please people, we are never ourselves. We are always thinking 100 times, will this be okay? Will that be okay? Whether I should do it, whether I should not do it. And so you are always lost. And believe me, even if you try 100%, you cannot please everyone. There will be people who will still talk about you. And do you know how I look at it when people talk about me? In fact, I feel very happy when people talk about me behind my back. It's because they are jealous. And why are people jealous? Because they have something which you don't have. They don't have something which you have. So they don't have what you have. And so they will talk bad about you. They'll be jealous of you. In fact, I feel happy when people are jealous because it's an indirect compliment to you that you have something. You are important enough for people to talk about you. They have nothing better to do. So you are so much on their mind that they will talk about you. So if you continue to please people, you will never be able to be happy in life. So another story which really inspires me is the story of a race which was happening. It was a frog race, and there was a pole and they had to climb up the pole. So these hundreds of frogs came for the race and they tried to climb that pole, but it was a slippery pole, so everybody was falling after some time. They kept trying, they kept falling, and they decided, you can't do it. No one can do it. They made a fool of ourselves. Blah, 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 blah. They kept talking amongst themselves. But they saw that one frog kept climbing, and they could see that he was climbing aram se, and he became a winner. So when he was going up, everybody was, betting, abhi girega, abhi girega, abhi girega, abhi girega, oh no, gira. So they were talking amongst themselves. And eventually he completed the race, and when he came down, everybody rushed to him and asked him, how did you do it? What was the strategy? But he won't answer to anyone. And then suddenly one of the frogs said, Arey, ye kya bolega? Ye to behra hai. He's deaf. So when people were doing this girega, gira, he looked at their body language and he thought they're encouraging him. And he went up, thinking that they're encouraging him. So you have to become deaf to the world. Completely deaf. Because if you keep listening to all those voices, you will never be able to do anything in your life. Never give the steer wheels, your life's steer wheel, the car of your life, the steer wheel, to anyone else. Otherwise, you will always remain a backseat driver. Take charge of yourself. You have come alone, you will die alone. So learn to live on your own. So, don't be a people's pleaser. The next lesson is live in the moment. Live in the present. The present moment will soon become history. Have you ever been able to get back to the past or get the past back into your life? No. No one can go back and bring the past into our lives. No one can go back and change the past. But what we can learn from the mistakes we have committed from the past, so that we don't repeat it again. A person who continues to repeat their mistakes again and again are actually doing the biggest mistake. So we need to learn from the past, but also don't be so obsessed about the future. Yes, we have to plan for the future, but no one knows about the next moment. Whether future will be there or not, you don't know. So plan for the future, be practical, but don't be so obsessed about it. Don't keep thinking, kya hoga, kya hoga, kya hoga. People who keep thinking about the future, they can't go back to the past. They keep thinking about the future, so they miss out on the present moment. This moment is what you have to live to. I'm talking to you, you're listening to me. This moment itself will become past in a little while. So be in the moment, enjoy this moment, because it is not going to come back. And there's a saying, why a present is called a present? Because it's a present, a gift from God. In the process of thinking about future or the past, we miss out on those beautiful moments which we are living right now. So it's very, very important that you learn to live in the present. What I believe in, what mantra I have learned in my life is that whenever I have this big worry about what will happen, what will happen, then this will happen, then that will happen. When all these thoughts come to me about future, I always tell myself to calm myself down. I will cross the bridge when I get to it. You know, you're miles away from the bridge and you're thinking, kya hoga, kya hoga, kya hoga, kya hoga. You never know. When you reach that bridge, maybe that bridge is not there. Somebody's made a road. Or maybe there's a beautiful boat waiting for you. You don't even have to climb that bridge. Anything can happen. So cross the bridge when you get to it. Why worry from now? Plan, of course plan. Be prepared for the best and also for the worst. But don't be obsessed with your future. We don't know what future holds. Next moment holds. There's this Hindi song by Shah Rukh Khan's movie, Har ghadi badal rahi hai roop zindagi, kal ho na ho, har pal yahan, जी भर जियो, कल ये वक्त हो ना हो. So this is the moment you have to learn to live by. This is what I've learned. The next thing which I want to tell you is to always be grateful. Always be grateful for what you have, because there are thousands of people who don't have what you also have. So reminds me again of a beautiful story. There was this girl who used to go to the mandir every day and pray to God. And she noticed that there was another guy who used to come once a month to the temple and then distribute things and everything. And he used to always come wearing golden shoes. So she always looked at those golden shoes, and then she used to really crib and cry to God and say, he comes once a month and you've given him golden shoes, and I come to you every day, you've not even given me proper shoes. That's not fair, God. And suddenly she saw a man without feet just crawling to the temple to pray and showing his gratitude to God. And she looked at him and she says, thank you, God, at least I have these feet. People, a person who doesn't have feet is also being so grateful to you for what he has. So if you keep looking up and up and up and up, you will always be craving for something every day, every day, every day, every day. But if you look down, you will realize that a lot of people who don't even have what you have. Look at this pandemic itself. So many people lost their jobs. So many people lost their homes. There were people who didn't have food. There were people who were walking all the way to their villages because there was no way they could get there. I mean, like, it was terrible. And at that time, I used to look at them and say, thank you, God, at least I have sar pe chhat hai. I have family to look after me. I have food to eat. So always be grateful for what God has given you. Reminds me of another beautiful story, very close to my heart, is that there was this mechanic who was working on the 24th floor of a building. And suddenly he realized that he'd forgotten his screwdriver at the ground level. So he thought, oh my God, now I'll have to go 24 down, these floors down, then come up 24 floors. It'll be so tiring, so much of time will get wasted, because it was a building under construction, so there was no lift. And he thought, instead of going down, let me see if someone can help me. So he peeped from the top and he found that there was a laborer who was working at the ground level. So he thought of attracting his attention and telling him to get the screwdriver to the 24th floor. So he thought, okay, how do I get his attention? So he called out his name. Now he is on the 24th floor and he called out his name, whatever his name was. But because it was so high, that guy couldn't hear him. So he thought, okay, let me get his attention. So he took out a 100 rupee note from his purse. And he thought that I will throw this 100 rupee note down to him. And when he'll see this note, he'll look up from where he came, from where did this note come. And then I will, wave at him and tell him to get the screwdriver. So it's kind of, I'll be giving him a tip for coming up and down the 100 rupee note. That's okay. So he took out a 100 rupee note and he threw it down. So it flew and came and landed next to that laborer. So he looked left and he looked right, and then he picked up that 100 rupee note, put it in his pocket and kept walking. Now this guy got very angry. He didn't even look up from where the money came. So he says, never mind, let me lure him again. So this time he took out a 500 rupee note and he threw that down. So it floated, came and landed up next to that laborer. Again, what this guy did, he looked left, right, picked up the money and put it in his pocket. Now this guy got very angry. What the hell? I have thrown so much of money, he's not even looking up. So what should I do? He got angry. So he picked up a small little stone and he pointed at him and he threw it at him and it hit him on his shoulder. And the moment it hit him, he looked up and he says, what? So this guy told him what to do. But what is the moral of the story? Is that when God gives us, just like that laborer, we just take it for granted and put it in our pockets and never even bother to thank him. But when he hits us, we'll go to him and cry and crib, why me? Why are you hitting me? Why me? Why me? Why me? When he gives you, why don't you say why me at that time? So be grateful in all these circumstances. Be grateful for what you have. Have gratitude towards each and every person who's contributing towards your life, your parents, your teachers, your friends. Everybody is teaching you something. Be grateful for the power because of whose blessings we are here. Be grateful if you found your mission in life. Be grateful for everything. So every night when you sleep, just pray and say thank you for whatever God has given you, instead of cribbing and crying and saying why me. Because if it's meant to be, it'll come to you. There's a beautiful saying in Hindi which says, वक्त से पहले और किस्मत से ज़्यादा किसी को नहीं मिलता. So if it is meant to be, it will happen. Have patience. It will come to you. So these were for 5 life mantras or life hacks or whatever you want to call, which will help you to take charge of your life. It's helped me a lot in my life. It's given me strength. It's changed me as a person. And I hope that these 5 lessons from my life help you to be a better person too. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll be back soon with another video very soon on personality development, another topic, another hack for your life. Till then, stay blessed, stay happy, and stay positive.